You pass me the mic. All right, man. So first off, look, we have to acknowledge because I want everybody to understand from 823 all the way down to 829, the world just was hit with so much stuff. It really
Yeah.
was. And when it comes to celebrities, that's why we call this the Three Kings. Because on 823 was Kobe Bryant's birthday.
Yep.
824, the two numbers he wore in basketball, we acknowledge as Kobe Day.
Mm-hmm.
But coming in on 828, we lost the role model. We lost the king of Wakanda. We lost Chadwick Boseman.
Hmm.
We lost the African American movie biopic actor. That's who we lost.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, Mike's birthday, he would have been 62 years old today. Now it's not the milestone year, but I never got a chance to talk about it last year. His birthday's today. He would have been 62 years old. And it's just amazing that all this stuff falls in this week.
I just want to take a minute to
It,
acknowledge some real issues that happened. It is the 15th anniversary of the devastation of Hurricane Katrina as well.
yes, and yesterday was the 57th anniversary of the March on Washington, which, by the way, they went out and had another March on Washington, and a 50,000 people turnout happened.
Did not even know about it until earlier this week. I
I
did.
didn't know about it
Yes,
either
I,
until
I
Mr.
actually
came
went
in.
and I actually went and got a daily news to get it and read about it to have this historic day because we haven't had a March on Washington of that proportion or just a lot of people there since the Million Man March. Even though there was more people there, obviously with the Million Man March, but still, just to all crowd to Washington Mall. So yes, we've had some historical things happen, especially for police brutality and all the things that we're fighting for here in this country. So
Mhm.
we're dedicating this podcast to those kings and the ones who's fought and the ones who are not here anymore, to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's out there. So that's the purpose. And I'm gonna start off with Chadwick Boseman, man. Chadwick Boseman died. Now, according to what I've been reading, he was 42. No pun intended.
No, I
Uh,
don't. I think the date is wrong.
the date is wrong, so he's 40 years
I'm
43.
seeing Marvel put out something that said 76, and
Whoa.
they wrote his checks. No. He was born in 76.
Okay. I was about to
He
say,
was.
like,
They said he was born in 1976. They got that man's social security number, and they write him checks. I think they know um more than Wikipedia does, because anybody can
Yeah,
edit
right.
Wikipedia.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I wanted to make sure if there was any confusion, but you're absolutely right on that one. And he passed away from a 4-year battle with colon cancer.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Colon cancer, and then when you actually sit back and think about all the things that we've seen him in the past 4 years, that's 2016.
Mhm.
Right. That's like the
And
height of his like when he started
yeah,
really getting big.
Yep.
and when you see these things that happen, so it's like, look, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Chadwick wasn't even, on my radar. Everybody was talking about the murmurs of Black Panther 2.
Mhm.
Everybody was talking about the murmurs of, he has another movie coming out. He just got, nobody really wanted to go see 21 Bridges.
Mhm.
Right.
And like I said, I want to see it, but I didn't see it. And then, especially with all things that have been going on in America, nobody really wanted to see a cop movie. So,
Right.
I,
I was
it,
more excited about like knowing that he was here shooting the movie than
yeah.
actually going to see the movie.
But what? After the whole 21 Bridges thing, I was like, then I seen the Five Bloods. And I was like, okay, so I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And seeing him in that role. And then there was pictures that came up and showing him, very skinny and losing all this weight. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I was the guy that said, y'all got to leave this man alone because he's probably doing it for a movie role. That's what actors do.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought too.
And when
Right.
I see him in the Five Bloods, I was just like, all right, Vietnam War, that's how they looked back then when the black men going to Vietnam. So I figured that was what it was for that necessarily movie. But to turn out, this man was really sick.
Right. It's
And
shocking.
it really shocked me. And once again, I got last night, I was recording some retro gameplay footage. And Q Flow texted me. And I'm not gonna lie, when Q Flow texts, I'm just like, first I want to check out like your source, prove it, because
Mm-hmm.
because that's the same thing that happened when somebody told me that Kobe died. I'm like, no, I ain't gonna believe. Then as soon as I typed in CHA, the first name came up. I said, this is not a good sign. And I looked at it, and every news thing was covering it like 5 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago. I said, "Oh my God, T'Challa, Black Panther, our king of what? I mean, oh my God, they was about to make they were close to making Wakanda a real place.
Mm-hmm.
They're serious,
Akon, that's what he doing.
and he's going. I'm like, nah, I can't. And I had to actually sit there and read a whole article, and I was just like, Colin can't. Wow, stage 4, and I was like, once you hit that stage 4 stuff, that's like, I mean, like I said, I've had family members that just died of cancer. I think my grandfather died of prostate cancer. So it's just it was just shocking. And I had to text my wife, had to text Lady Sketch, and then I was upstairs, so I heard her from downstairs already. I was like, oh, she read the text. And I want to get y'all opinion, or not necessarily opinion, I would say, but just the initial thing of when it happened.
Yeah. If y'all don't mind me going first,
Sure, go for it.
I got a text from Chubbs. I didn't instantly read it. I saw it was a group message, and all I saw was Chadwick. I was like, he probably just got another role or something like that.
Yeah.
Then I get a FaceTime call. My phone was like constantly blowing up, but I was looking for my cat, and I was like, I don't know where she was. It turns out she was in the basement. I don't know how she got down there. That's a story for another time. Then I get a FaceTime call from Shorty B. I was like, I hope everything okay. I answer it. She was like, Chadwick died. I'm like, yo, stop playing.
Dad, girl.
Like, no introduction. Chadwick died. I'm like, yo, stop playing. She's like, no, I'm serious. Then I look back. I was like, Rudy did say something about Chadwick. I look back at the text. I'm like, no. Then I see my aunt text me. I'm like, no, stop. Then Wobble Boy texts me. If y'all know Wobble Boy, he's another YouTuber here. He barely texts me. So when I saw that text, I was like, oh, I know it's real. He looked at me. He was like, please tell me this is fake. I'm like, nah, this is real, man. This is for real. And I'm just like, y'all really took the king? I almost felt like it's almost like I was in war and they took out the person that like knows everything and is like, this is their best recruit that we ever had. And it's like, once he's gone, it's like, what do we do? That's how I felt initially when it happened. Afterwards, I just put on Black Panther. When I tell you my cat never sat still in her life, she literally sat there and watched the whole movie. And they say something about cats purring. They say, when cats sit on you and purr, that means they're trying to heal you. She purred loud, too. So I was like, oh, she knows. I was like, that's the Sixth Sense thing. And then I called Mr. A&E. I was like, let me just make sure that this is legit. And then we just started talking about it. And it is just, it's a shocker.
Yeah.
It's a shocker.
How about you, Q-Flow?
All right. So, funny, no, not really funny, but it's just crazy how life works, right? Same thing that happened with when I found out Stan Lee died. My day starts off with a shitty day at work. All right, I got caught in that flood. Looked like I jumped in the pool with my clothes on. It was just terrible. I get home. I'm chilling. I get on Twitter, and I just see one of my people's like, "Yo, Chadwick Boseman passed away," and I'm like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Nah." I checked Twitter. I checked see if it's trending and all that. I'm like, "Nah, man. People ain't lying, though. People lying, bro." I go on Google and I type in Chadwick Boseman. There it is. Everything that popped up. My man passed away. I'm like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. It's Kobe all over again, man. Like, and then first thing I did, you know what I mean? I got to inform Mr. A&E some of the time, so that's what I want to do, man. But it's crazy. It started out just like my last time, just like with Stan Lee, a trash day at work, man. Why can't I get a break?
Yeah.
Whatever. That's how it was, man.
And there are people obviously on social media, stuff like that want to make the comments of saying that you shouldn't have such emotions for people that you don't know, right? And I'm going to answer those questions because The people are going to die every day. That's the unfortunate truth. And don't nobody know when the last day is going to be. But there is times where people have grown to be larger than life, that have a platform, that have inspired other people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have started to inspire other people and inspire a generation and inspire saying a nation or whatever case it be, you start to becoming that legend icon status. That's what you start to becoming to. And I've known Chadwick Boseman since 42 and on Get On Up. And he at that time, Chadwick Boseman was like the new Nate Parker. He was the biopic guy to go and play in all these biopics. And then, so he was starting to become that black famous. But what people got to understand is that Black Panther, that role, the role that he wanted to play, okay, he said he prayed, he called Kevin Feige himself and said, I want to play this role. Don't leave it open for anybody else. And he wanted the role, and he got the role, and he embodied T'Challa. Okay, and now once again, people may say, "Well, it's just a superhero," or something like that. You got to understand the impact that Black Panther had on American society. Period. That movie, when he was introduced in Civil War, he became almost a vocal point next to Spider-Man of why people wanted to go see that movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's an Avengers movie, yeah, it's a Captain America movie, obviously, but when you got them two new characters coming in, you want to see that. And for people who know their comic books, know that first of all, T'Challa is not, trying to fight gang members out the hood. T'Challa is not, a homeless bum that automatically gets remade by some white guy. That's not what he was. He was the king of a continent,
a
country, Wakanda. Mm-hmm. And like I said, that even though it was a fictional country, it showed a generation. It showed kids. It showed us. You know what I'm saying? That we can be kings, we can be queens, we can be wealthy. And for them to put that much money into a project like that, and for them to put it in the forefront, we never had nothing like that. Not in my generation when I was a young kid, not in my son's generation, not in y'all generation. We never had nothing like that. So he inspired millions of people. And that takes effect, especially on these kids out here.
Yeah.
It takes effect. You had celebrities buying out movie theaters for kids to go see Black Panther that couldn't afford it. They're not just doing that for any movie. Ain't nobody sitting there buying out theaters so kids go see Soul Plane. Nobody's going out and buying out these movies so these kids can go see those kind of movies. But the inspiration that came from Black Panther, like, hey, this is a black superhero that is in a positive light.
That's not even just royalty.
Royalty. You know what I'm saying? And that it's important that this young generation goes and sees that movie. That's how it meant to everybody. Mm-hmm. That's why it broke so many records. That's why, it won so many things. That's why it was nominated for so many stuff like that. It made so much noise that you couldn't ignore it.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Jimmy Kimmel said, like it made so much money and so much noise you couldn't ignore it if you tried.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I saw one post. This father, he said he was going to talk to his son and tell him that Black Panther died. And the first,
I know what you're talking about.
I think he asked him. He was like, "Did it do any? Was it anything with the cops, or did it have to do anything with coronavirus?" And I was like, that's just telling the times and how much knowledge that the kids have nowadays, but how much impact that superhero had in general.
Yeah.
To be worried at that level.
Exactly, because like I said, we are living in unprecedented times right now.
Right.
Where we're going in blindly and we don't know what is coming out at the other end.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going out in the other end. And and for him to I am a strong believer that everybody has a purpose on this earth.
Yep.
They have a purpose on this earth. And we as humans are selfish that want to be able to keep the ones that we love and adore and admire and all that stuff around for us forever. Because we want to be here forever, but that's not how the things work, unfortunately. And for him to be working, it's not just move. It ain't just different roles in movies. You gotta understand something. This man did 4 superhero movies
Hmm.
to maintain that shape and go to chemotherapy and go do surgeries and all this kind of stuff like that and be quiet about it. How can you not honor or feel some type of thing for that man alone?
Yeah. Also, shout out to his
Right.
team because they kept this
They ain't
real
4 years
quiet.
and they ain't say nothing.
I'm more glad that TMZ didn't break this news.
Yeah,
I'm
and like I
actually
said,
happy his family came out and said it.
exactly. I agree with that, and it's just I was sitting here just looking like at Black Panther. I'm just sitting here looking at like because you see him in Black Panther, you see him in Civil War, and then you got to do Infinity War and Endgame, which was recorded back to back,
Right.
and you got to sit there and think like, how does this man do it?
Hmm.
It's different with doing regular movies. When you got to play a superhero, you got to maintain a certain shape. You got to do certain kind of workouts and fights and things like that, so it can make it look so the movie can look as authentic as it possibly can. And to do all that with cancer, to do all that with cancer is like how and that's a blessing because he was here for that purpose.
Right.
Hmm.
And I'm glad
I,
he was
I
able to be here for that.
yes, and like I said, like now the MCU is always it's taking a hit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not talking about like, oh man, Stan Lee passed away. No, and I'm not elevating the deaths or anything like that because Stan Lee was old, and they knew, and he knew that the time that the clock was ticking,
Right.
and he was able to to finish out the whole the Thanos saga, whatever they
Yeah.
want to call it,
Infinity Saga.
Infinity Saga. There you go. But then this new saga coming up, he, it is missing the main hole.
He was going to be one of the Trinity.
He was.
Hmm.
Is and like I said, he is the one with the wealth, the resources, the country, all that. So that he has that's gone now. And people, I'm just like people sitting there wondering, asking well, what's going to happen with Black Panther 2. What's going to happen? I'm like, first of all, it's only been a day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I trust me. I don't even think Kevin Feige out the bed yet. Okay, so there's not even no discussion. They're going to have to cross that bridge when they get there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But right now we not even at that bridge because it, in my opinion, when you start looking at the bridge like, well, man, we got to hurry up and cast somebody to be Black Panther or try to do Black Panther 2. That shows that you give no shits about this man's death,
Yeah.
and that's not the message that you're trying to get out. Nobody, why even worry about a movie that's not even supposed to come out for another 2 years?
That shows the value in property, not life.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then it was a lot. It was touching for a lot of things. A lot of celebrities, a lot of his people over in Marvel, a lot of his his co-stars and everything has said some very beautiful stuff about it.
Hmm.
And it wasn't just the usual rest in peace, rest in power,
It
rest in
was
paradise type thing.
everything I saw was like this man, like he changed everything around him when he
Man,
went
Yo,
there.
that's for real.
anytime you
Yo,
got he had Joe Biden and Kamala Harris out there tweeting.
Mm.
we not gonna talk about they tweeting for their own personal gains. Fuck them. Fuck them both. Fuck all these politicians who wanna bring up his last tweet for their own personal gain. We know what y'all doing. Y'all don't give a damn, man. They just doing
I,
it. Look, every no, because every single politician was doing it. It wasn't just like one, or it wasn't just Kamala or Joe Biden. It's every freaking person. Chad was last tweet. That's their tweet. Chad was last tweet. Chad was last tweet. I done seen him like 10 times. They don't give a damn about him. They was
I just
doing it
want
for
to
their own
know
personal gain. Fuck all of
what
them, man. No, we not. No, no, no.
what is like I'm trying to ask. What was the last tweet?
It was
Because
a
I didn't
picture
know
of
there was
him
a last
hugging.
tweet.
It was a picture of him hugging Kamala Harris.
Okay, so that was his final tweet that he did.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently, okay. I'm not going to turn this into some political show, and I'm not.
Also, you do realize they're both Howard alums, so that was probably a special thing for him. So I'm not going to sit on this podcast and go
That's
off. And
no, 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 no.
I don't know what the cultural impact is. Already a whole big thing, despite what people feel about her, despite what I personally even feel about her. That it's a big thing. This woman is an HBCU alum, an AKA a Howard graduate, who is the first Black woman vice presidential candidate. So I don't know what. Again, yes, I don't know what their motives are. Um,
I
but
would, I would, I wouldn't go off if it was just Kamala. It's the fact that it's been like 12, 15 tweets from the whole damn party.
I honestly, we don't have Twitter. I mean, we just have the
Yeah. I was
page.
if it was just her, I would not go off. It was if it was just her and another HBCU alum who happens to be in the shits, I wouldn't have mind. It's like the whole damn political party.
I mean, uh,
And then
I understand that, but a lot of people tweet and do shit on social media for clout. This is no, and by no means me standing up for politicians, but I mean, there are folks who don't give a shit about this man who was going to tweet about him dying.
I reserve my comments because I don't know
Like,
their relationship with him.
That's what I don't
taking
know either.
advantage of the man,
That's
like,
the only connection I could possibly make if he tweeted it from his own account. I don't know about everybody else.
And like I said, I
yeah,
can't.
he tweeted it from his account, the picture of him and Kamala, which I ain't mad at. Then it was when everybody started, because on Twitter you can do a retweet with a comment.
Hmm.
So everybody's been doing the retweet with a comment talking about some Chadwick's last tweet. That's and like I said, if it was just Kamala, cool. But when it's like 10 other people doing it, nah.
I mean, I get it. They are trying to use it to elevate what's happening. But I just I don't want his legacy getting lost in, well, what is this person doing and that person doing? I'm more so concerned less about celebrities or even politicians, but about the everyday people who were just like, this made an impact. Like, he made a large cultural impact telling Black stories that we didn't get to see. Our son came in here last night very upset
Early this morning, actually, yeah.
and was just like, and he has been experiencing death of people very close to him from a very young age. So this is not a new concept for him. But for him to be like, I can't believe, like, how do we, how to process this? That is what I am more upset about. Lots of little Black and brown children who had never seen anybody from this generation, who had never seen anybody who looked like them on screen and held in such reverence and put into a certain position and that they feel that in themselves. There was a rise in folks taking pride in themselves and where they came from and all kinds of things. Black creatives feeling like they have the license to do what they wanted to, that they thought nobody would believe in or nobody would fund because of things like Black Panther. It's even with 42 or Marshall or Get On Up. Who else is like, who's making these biopics? So it means so much more to me for things like that. I never would have expected him to come to us early in the morning, like, upset. And I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, why are you upset? He has every right to feel how he feels. And I don't care. Now, the one thing I will say that's going to sound kind of standoffish, I don't care how y'all do stuff in y'all house. You can go ahead and tell your kids not to feel their emotions if you want to, but that's not how we do things over here. Oh, well. So, if he is upset about it or doesn't know how to process it, then we're going to do our best to help him do that. But I just think about like the kids who had cancer who he went to visit, knowing he was fighting his own cancer battle.
Mm-hmm.
The, different things he came and spoke out about, things that he made a priority to, like, even when he was sick all this time, he's doing all these movies, expending all this energy. And he still made it a point to let everybody know, like, he was with the Black Lives Matter. He was with the, speaking at commencements and letting these young Black men and women know, you are worth something. Serve your purpose. And he said he thought he was serving his purpose. And I believe that the cultural impact he had will be felt for generations. The last time that we had a Black superhero was what? Blade? Static Shock?
Static, yeah.
We had Meteor Man.
The show.
Yeah.
But yes, a Meteor Man, but that was even an even smaller, which was cool. Meteor Man was cool. I'm not going to discount Meteor Man. I even love Blank Man. I know he hates it, but I love Blank Man. But for like a bigger impact than a Meteor Man or a Blank Man, Static or Blade. And Blade, we
Hancock.
already talked about. I forgot about Hancock. We already talked about how this man came and revived what was going on at Marvel. We probably wouldn't have all of this if we didn't have Blade.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But how long ago was that?
Yeah.
20 years ago.
And to that, it's also like he's not just a Black superhero. He was a Black king.
He wasn't a slave.
He was a Black millionaire. Like, not past millionaire. He was the richest person in Marvel. So it's more impactful just to see that instead of seeing one Black character amongst all white characters. You had a Black king who had this country with all beautiful Black people along his side. Not even that, strong, beautiful Black people on the side.
Intelligent.
Yeah.
Because that's a piece that we don't really touch on, especially on here. But I don't feel like, I can't say we don't, but I don't feel like it's as celebrated. Like, we could talk about rich and notoriety, but intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can be as broke as you want to, but nobody can take that from you.
Yeah, I agree. And I agree with every point everybody just said. I just want, to say that, and I understand at these times we're angry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I don't want anybody to understand that. But, saying the whole politician thing, it ain't this is not my job to come here and defend no Democrats or no Republicans. Because here's the thing. The truth is, don't nobody on this call want that job.
Right.
Okay? And I ain't going to sit there and cut them off at the feet of somebody doing their job, whether we like it or not. Because we don't want that job. Now, me mentioning the presidential nominee of Biden and Kamala Harris is to show you the impact that this man has made, because there are people that's like nobody, Kamala Harris and Biden is not sitting there making no tweets about Cliff Robinson. Oh, do y'all know who that is?
Not at all.
Exactly. That's a basketball player who just passed away today. Now, I know who that is.
Yeah, from the Trailblazers.
Yeah, but back in the day when when he's played with Jordan, All-Star. But see, if you're not a basketball player, or he's one of those people, like, if you got to watch basketball to know who he is, to talk about that. So I'm illustrating the and the impact this man has had. Because all them politicians you just said, fuck, you just put Obama and Michelle in that category because they definitely treat something out too. They are still politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you like it, they are still people, and like I said, to those black people and to some of those people, this man with that one movie gave a waterfall of change. There is no Watchmen without Black Panther. There is no Lovecraft Country without Black Panther. You know what I'm saying?
There's no Get Out. There's no Us.
All these things that Hollywood took a chance on. There is none of that without this man here. First of all, the reason why I say that, because it ain't just that they made the movie. Kevin Owens today tweeted. Did anybody see Kevin Owens? Now, once again, this is not the No Gimmick City podcast, so I'm not expecting.
I did not see.
I didn't know he had a Twitter, so.
No, I didn't see it
Okay,
either.
so Kevin Owens today, he tweeted something about Chadwick Boseman, and this was just to show the impact that Chadwick had, not even on just us as a culture, but on everybody. He tweeted this: "Can't believe it. I'm at a drive-in watching Black Panther with my kids as I type this.
Wow.
I was just thinking to myself how talented Chadwick Boseman was right before finding out he had passed away. Everything he accomplished while being that sick, what a badass. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman." Now imagine you sitting there, got your kids who, see, what's kids ain't racist.
Kids don't care. They just see Black Panther.
They just see Black Panther. Your parents and your grandparents and your coach and all that, they teach you how to hate. Okay? And then when they look up to somebody who's a hero, because once again, there is no more Iron Man, there is no more Captain America. Thor's going to do his own thing. That is Marvel right there.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's sitting there watching this with his kids. How you tell your kids, if my kid is coming at me 4 o'clock in the morning upset, these kids who are looking up to him now, where I have seen black kids, white kids, kids of all different colors at Comic-Cons and at Halloween, are Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are going around, X's on their chest no matter where's that. Adults are going around doing the same thing. And then so him dying has affected a shit ton of people. Sandra Bullock called him crying to thank him for the impact of Black Panther and what it did for her kids. This happened.
Look, I want to say this before I forget it, because it's on the top of my mind. Be mindful of your words. How many people said all kinds of wild shit about this man losing weight and everything that was happening, not knowing, even when we was all joking about him being tired of doing Wakanda Forever, he could have very well knew that all of this was bittersweet because his cancer was progressing. He started at stage 3. It progressed to stage 4. He could have known, like, this is great. Like, all of this, like, everything that's happening as a result of this movie is wonderful. But what if I'm not here to see it? We don't know what's happening in this man's mind.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And then this man had to cut off the comments on his Instagram, stop streaming live, because he put up a video of him talking about Jackie Robinson, and then a bunch of people come on talking about why he looked so skinny, he looked like a crackhead. Like, they were saying all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, y'all never know what somebody is doing. This man single-handedly came through, not necessarily really like single-handed, like nobody else was involved, but he himself became a cultural icon within the last 2 years and was battling cancer and going to chemo in between projects. Like, I don't know if anybody here has ever personally witnessed somebody going through chemo and radiation, but it is very draining. Just going about your everyday life. I can't imagine him having to go and then go that go to chemo and go through surgeries and then come back and still go out and shoot these movies, do promo, visit kids. Like it's not just one single thing, especially when you have something this big, this monumental. I just want everybody to stop and think, because I know it's been all over social media, but to really stop and think, like, consider what you're saying that would affect someone else's psyche. It's just, I truly can't imagine that. And for him to be going through all of that and to do all of these projects is wild to me. And then I know I have heard like murmurs of them saying, oh, well, they didn't know what was going on with Black Panther 2, because they may have known.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not their job to say anything, and they didn't. And that's another thing. The folks around you, if you telling people things and your business is getting out, you need to check who you have around here.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this man, who was a mega movie star at this point, and this information could have got leaked from anyone, to the paparazzi, to TMZ. The only thing I saw was a picture of him from this past June. I didn't even know happened, with him being wheeled into the hospital covered in blankets. But besides that, nobody heard anything, which is why it was so shocking.
Yeah,
and
that's
somebody had to know. But they did not take it upon themselves to disclose that information. So I just wanted to say that. I want to say my piece before I forgot and we got off into another area. I don't know. It's a lot. I understand why people would be like, well, what happens now with Black Panther 2 and with the MCU? I get it.
Why?
You gotta.
I just want to know. I'm sorry.
What happened?
Go ahead.
No, I just feel like maybe we should take a step back. Like, we just found out he passed, and y'all worried about a movie?
I mean,
not y'all, but I'm saying like people worried.
Well, no, not us.
I'm not saying people like parents with kids. I get it because their children probably asking, cool, but it's like I don't know, man. Maybe I'm looking at it from a different perspective, but it's just like the man just passed away. I'm not worried about him. How's his family doing? That's you know what I mean. I'm not worried about the movie right now. Like,
you're not wrong.
I don't know, man. We all grieve different. I gotta remember that we all grieve different.
I'm being a little hard. People grieve differently, and they don't know how to. It's a little bit much to process. It's just like lots of things run through your mind. Just like when somebody close to you dies, lots of things run through your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you just like, and some of them may be completely irrelevant.
You're right. And I'm gonna say this. People who do ask that question, me personally, I think it's like, okay, you do need to take a step back because this man just died. Worry about his family, because Marvel ain't even worried about this right now.
Yeah. But
in people's heads, that this is a huge loss for the company. Period. Mm-hmm. It is like to the purpose. But right now, they're not even thinking about their business. I mean, in maybe about a year, you know, say after this stuff settles, we'll talk about like, oh God, what the hell Marvel gonna do now? Because, you know what I'm saying, all their shows and stuff on Disney Plus got pushed back. You know what I'm saying? They let DC had their fun this year to the point which is like, right now, there's other things we got to worry about. And they know they took a hit. But it's different if, how do I put it, like Paul Walker, right? Where it's just like, yo, I did the Fast and the Furious. I was halfway done Furious 7 and I passed away. And it's like, oh my God, that was a blow. What are we going to do? Black Panther 2 wasn't even nothing was written. There's no plot. There's no script. You know what I'm saying? Coogler's still busy, like, and Kevin Feige knows that. And right now, talking about a sequel, and talking about, because that's what MCU do. They already got planned stuff like that. But talking about a sequel, it's virtually, basically, it's tasteless. There's nothing you can even do about it because it wasn't even thought of yet. It wasn't even thought of it. Like, they're not gonna go make casting calls on Monday. Like, we got to find a new Black Panther, because I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna treat Black Panther like Heath Ledger. He's not gonna be replaced. Get over there right now. So the people out there tweeting John David Washington, he's not being replaced.
Wait. Before I step away, what?
There was people out there tweeting like, "Yo, you see Tenet? We need to get John David Washington to play, be Black Panther, Black Panther 2." I said, "Are y'all serious?"
Wow.
I just want y'all to understand, one, that is tacky.
That's tasteless.
That's disrespectful.
But also,
What Chadwick Boseman, for what Chadwick like built up.
one, that's tacky. But also, Denzel and Chadwick had their own connection, because without him even knowing Chadwick, he sponsored him when he was in college. So they grew to actually have some kind of relationship. I highly doubt that he would, I can't say allow because his son's a grown man, but I highly doubt that he wouldn't go to his son and be like, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all can throw that out the window.
That's what I'm saying. That's how tasteless some people have been on the internet. And I'm like, you can't replace the man who created his own accent for a country that don't even exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everything that he brought to this role was his. He took, that's what I'm saying. It's the Heath Ledger approach. Heath Ledger took that Joker and made that Joker his. Can't nobody touch that. Nobody. Ain't nobody gonna touch it. Have we had great Jokers and Jokers from before and even after with Joaquin Phoenix? That's it. And the Joker that we got in Joaquin Phoenix, who won an Oscar for it, that's his Joker. Mm-hmm. And so when you look at Black Panther, that's his. People don't realize that ever since the movie, ever since Civil War, not just Black Panther, Civil War, the comics, the cartoons, the TV shows, the action figures have been off of Chadwick Boseman, not nobody else. Everything that they tried to do, the only thing that was not of Chadwick was when they did Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And they had that version of Black Panther in there. And I was like, well, this is just stupid. Because everybody was wondering, like, that don't sound like Chadwick. People were saying that. He is the character now. It's just like Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. He's a legend in his own game for all the things he's did, and so is Chadwick. But they took the role and they made it theirs. You don't replace those roles. You don't. Be honest with you, no disrespect. You can replace Gamora. You can replace Drax, but you don't replace the King. You don't do that. And that's that impact. And everybody is, grieving very differently, about this man. And it's so hard. It's so hard to swallow. But it's a pill that we have to swallow. And to know that, because we can sit here and be upset and cry about, why did he die? Or this is why we don't believe in God now because he took away Chadwick Boseman. I'm like, but look what he did on this earth. Mm-hmm. You gotta look at it. Look what he gave us on this earth. I said, imagine if this man succumbed to his chemo after 42. Then nobody would know who Chadwick Boseman is. Right. Just another actor, another black man who died of cancer. But the impact, he came here and did what he had to do. And he felt that. Because like I said, he was proud to let everybody know that he's from the South. He grew up as a Christian Baptist. That's what he believes in. And he felt as though like, I'm here for a purpose, and this purpose is for that. And he got new kind of fame and new kind of recognition just for that role alone. Mm-hmm. And he said, I'm walking in my purpose. I'm going to do what I have to do. And, come to think of it, it's just like, man, that is hard to think about. That him doing all these Wakanda Forever salutes and that him looking the way he did was only probably because he knew in his mind that it is probably bittersweet. I'm not probably going to be around for a second one. I'm probably not going to be around. And like I said, what if, because like I said, people talk, what if Ryan Coogler and Kevin Feige already knew that and they didn't want to rush Black Panther 2?
Right.
Because you got studios that be like, look, we know these people about to either die or leave or something like that, so let's hurry up and rush this movie out. And it's like, no, because you can't rush that kind of impact.
Right.
You cannot rush that kind of impact. You got to take, and maybe they knew something that we didn't know, and maybe they felt as though that he can beat it, and then he couldn't. And that's and that's sad. That's what I'm saying. So, it hurts, and it hurts telling my son. It hurts seeing these kids. It hurts seeing us affected by it, because it hurts now for the death. And then once we move on and go months from now to a year from now to the point where it's like, oh shit, Marvel's really fucked up right now. That's when it's going to hit all over again.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say, we talk about it. The rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, and I on the channel on Nerdgasm Studios, we have reviews of Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. All going to be re-released since the channel died the first time. It's going to be re-released for you guys on Nerdgasm Studios with a little bit of updates put to it. So stay tuned for that coming out in the previous weeks. And then I also want to review Chadwick's movies as well. Now, we can't do all of them on this one podcast, like I said, we got other things to talk about as well. And I know all of you haven't seen all of them yet. But I did want to, for the movie experience, do eventually Get On Up and 42. I still want to see 21 Bridges, and I still want Swag to see The Five Bloods.
I actually that was the other crazy part about this whole situation. 2 days ago, I was watching James Brown.
Yeah, it came on TV.
No. It's on Hulu. Yeah, it's on Hulu.
So Hulu?
Yeah. If you got or HBO Max, if you got either or.
No, I got the HBO Max one. So yeah, my mom watched on HBO, and she's like, I was just watching Get On Up. I was like, if y'all ain't seen Get On Up. It now.
I'm not gonna hold you. It kind of threw me off with the whole timeline of the things.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I swear to God, just about to say that. I said, Get On Up is not your usual beginning to end documentary or biopic. Yeah, it's not the usual. It's like it's really all over the place. It's like James Brown in his head. It like starts at a point in the 80s. Then he goes back and tells a story as the current story is still going on before we get to the present. Makes sense, but it's kind of weird. So when you're watching it, you're like, wait, what year are we in? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of then I did the follow kind of thing. You know what? It's kind of like Birds of Prey, the Harley Quinn movie. It's like she's doing it in her head, but she's just talking about parts she remembers before, like, oh snap, that did happen before that. Let me go back and do that. That's the kind of place she's in. Yeah, but
I was like, why is it? I'm like, why are we jumping? We're jumping so many timelines.
Exactly, we just jumping so much. But him as James Brown was dope.
Yeah.
Him as James Brown was dope. He had the look. He had the dance. I was like, I didn't know he was going to have the dance moves. He had the dance moves. And in my personal opinion, because that's what put him on the map for me more so than 42 did. And I was just like, because I was like, oh, I liked him in 42. But when Get On Up came on, I was like, because, whoa, I didn't he can make the change like that. And he showed that he has range. And then after I seen Get On Up and they said this man is Black Panther, I had the same reaction I did when I heard Mahershala Ali was Blade. Like they're gonna kill it. They're going to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just like Swag said years ago, and I'm gonna echo his sentiment. I am not ready to go in a movie theater and see rest in peace Chadwick Boseman on these Marvel properties. That shit gonna hurt. Like what that's the that he said about Stan Lee. That hurts. And you know how Marvel don't mind giving a tribute to their people. That's gonna be a pill to swallow. You know, funny story. When I was watching Infinity War, right, there was this lady, and I had to mention that she was a white lady, right? We were leaving out to see Infinity War. It's the first time we've seen it.
Oh,
And
I remember. I
you
know
remember?
exactly what you're talking about.
She was pissed, and I was like, I mean, she was like, I felt the heat radiating off her body. She was like, "What the fuck is Marvel doing? I can't imagine a world without Black Panther." Yo, no lie, I really want to know what she's thinking right now. She probably breaking all types of shit in her house, and I'm just like, wow. This was Infinity War, not Black Panther, not Civil War. That's the impact he had.
Mm-hmm. People call Infinity War Black Panther 2.
Bruh, that's the impact they
That's
had.
the impact. You can't deny it, yo.
They didn't care about Winter Soldier dusting away.
It was like,
You didn't care about Falcon?
Who's this purple man collecting jewelry? I want to see Black Panther.
You know, look, bruh, do you think they cared about Falcon being dusted away?
Falcon don't care about Falcon.
You know what I'm saying? But, yo, when Black Panther dusted away, the whole audience, if you go back and listen to them on YouTube, like the audience reactions, they were like, oh, like that is Spider-Man.
We ain't see it was those two.
Because
Civil War gang.
Everybody came in there was just like, oh, Tony gonna die, Cap gonna die. They crazy to kill off Panther and Spider-Man. I was just like, oh, no, and it affected everybody, and I'm just like.
And not only that, when he came back in Endgame,
bro, I cried. I legit cried.
The silhouette of him walking back, that's when the crowd cheered. Well, not our theater, of course, but when we go to see it the other multiple times.
Yeah, the other multiple times they definitely did, because I think the first time was drawn.
Like, are y'all watch Marvel?
Yeah, we need the black stereo in that one. But when he first came back, no joke, the tear went down my eye, because I didn't care about Falcon on your left. There was no connection there. I didn't care about him flying out there talking about Cap, I'm on your left. And everybody's like, oh my God, it's Falcon. I'm just like, yo, you serious right now? The girl that was sitting next to me. And I was just like, when that portal opened, that strange portal opened, and then he comes walking out, and everybody's just like, Wakanda! And then it was just like, yeah, Cap, I saved your ass. I'm going to save your ass again. I'm back. And he was the first hero to walk through the thing. The whole theater lost their shit. Tear came down, and I was just like, oh, it's on. It's on. Everybody wanted to see what he was going to do. When he grabbed Thanos' gauntlet and was sitting there like an NFL running back just cutting, and you can do all that stuff there. We was cheering, bro. That's the impact.
I'm going to watch that movie tonight.
Like,
man.
That's the impact of that, man.
Yeah. It definitely hurts. I can't see that version of Black Panther again.
What you mean? Oh yeah,
moving in the future, we're not going to see that version of Black Panther. We're going to get other versions, but it's almost like you said with Heath Ledger. It's like it's not that Joker.
It's not
that Joker. And it's just I'm so glad we got the 4 movies we got, and he was able to complete Endgame. But it's just like it definitely hurts. Right now, I don't even want to think about Black Panther 2. I know people talking about. I'm just like, I don't even.
No, I'm because
like I know people. It's a natural thing. It's going to happen.
Like time has to heal that, because that's not my Black Panther. Right. That's not my king. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I'm like the Thor Katrina. I'm like, I'm serving one king.
Right.
All right. That's how it goes. And when I watch Infinity War, because I just watched today the other scene of him and Cap just sprinting to the battle.
It's so good. And
yeah.
And then I was watching Well, for one, for those who don't know, I have locks. The whole reason I got locks was because of Black Panther. That movie alone made me get locks. So,
Yeah.
and after seeing Killmonger, I was so convinced. I was like, I'm ready to cut these off. I don't want to be Killmonger no more.
Yeah.
I want to be T'Challa. It just hurts.
But just keep your locks and be static.
That's okay. So, I was watching Civil War today, and some of the lines, it's just so it hits harder now. He said,
It do.
Death is not the end; it's just a stepping stone. I was like, Chad, you
bro.
gotta say this line. And then when he cuts the bullet in front of Zemo, he said, "The living isn't done with you yet." I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just it hits a different way.